In this part, we're going to move from social media over to Google. We're going to be looking at SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, which is just a fancy way of saying getting to the top of Google. This is an incredibly complex subject with a lot of different subtleties, and I'm not going to be going into them all today. I just want to give you the basics of SEO and how we can use ChatGPT to repurpose content from X and LinkedIn into a blog so that we can start to get that Google juice going. The basics of SEO, though, are that as long as we provide valuable content to our readers and Google searchers, Google is going to prioritize our website above other people's websites and show it to more people and give us more traffic. We get rewarded for producing good content. Now, there are a lot of technical tricks around SEO. I'm not going to be talking about those, but rest assured that what really matters is good quality content, and the technical stuff is for optimizing and edge cases. Why are we bothering to do SEO? Why do we want traffic from Google? The main reason is once Google SEO is up and running, which does take time, but once it's up and running, we get free and large amounts of traffic for a very long period of time. I still make sales on a website that I set up more than 10 years ago that gets fed traffic for free without me doing anything by Google. You may be asking at this point, wait, isn't Google all over trying to block AI content? Aren't they going to deprioritize my website? Am I going to get in trouble for using AI? The answer here is yes and no. No, in the sense that Google hasn't really caught up in policing AI content. Nobody's really managed to crack the nut of detecting reliably AI content and deprioritizing it. However, Google has some of the top engineers in the world, and they will probably work out this problem. If they don't, Google itself will probably cease to exist. So let's work on the assumption that eventually Google is going to work out how to detect AI content. For this reason, I do not recommend wholesale generating content using AI. It will probably get slapped down by Google in a later algo update. You've probably been to a few of these sites already where the content looks good and everything seems to be right, but something's a little off. The content doesn't really flow, or you find there's not actual much valuable information within the content itself. Instead, what we're going to be doing is feeding in inputs from Twitter and LinkedIn and using that to generate long form blog content using repurposing prompts in ChatGPT. So we're going to be working from our own original content and repurposing it into something new. Now, AI is much better at this and it will be a lot less generic. I'm going to show you how you can repurpose Twitter posts into blog articles using a very simple to use ChatGPT prompt. The best source of simple blog articles for SEO purposes are single tweets or short posts that you put on LinkedIn or other social platforms. I recommend once a week going into your analytics on X or in LinkedIn or whatever platform you're using and checking out what your top posts of the week were. Look for the ones with the top views as well as the most engagement. These are the posts that are most popular with the people that you're trying to talk to, the audience you're trying to build. Here is an example of a post that I want to repurpose. As you can see, the format's very simple. It's just a list of different tools that are free and a statement at the end saying cost is not an excuse to starting a business. It's a very simple post, but we're going to expand that into a fully formed blog article that can be used for SEO purposes. Here's the prompt. I'm going to read it to you and go through line by line. So, act as an expert SEO writer. This is setting up the role for ChatGPT, telling it what kind of headspace it needs to be in and what kind of focus it should have when doing the work for us. Second, repurpose the post I provide into an SEO optimized blog article, and then follow these guidelines. This is a set of steps that I've prepared which will tell ChatGPT how to produce a high quality SEO optimized blog for you. So write strong headlines that create curiosity and compel the reader to click. Avoid exaggerated clickbait titles. Capture attention immediately in the introduction by connecting with readers' interest and pain point. So both of these are for the top of the article, making sure that it's compelling and the reader wants to continue to read. Preview the value they will get by reading more. Break up long sections of text with images, video, subheading, whitespace, and other formatting to make it scannable. Include a visually compelling table of contents. This is just, again, for readability to make sure that readers can get through a long-form article. They're able to navigate their way through, know what they're expecting, and know what kind of value they're going to get by reading all the way through the article. Tell a cohesive story, focused on the reader's needs and interests. Avoid including irrelevant details just for length. Ensure content flows logically, transitioning smoothly between sections. Every word should engage readers and move the story forward. Each section, preceded by a header, should have at least 3 paragraphs. And then finally, I have some constraints at the end just to tell ChatGPT exactly what kind of output I want. Produce 750 to 1,000 words. The reason for this is an SEO optimized blog article should be at least 500 words, if not a bit more. The longer the better generally. And then do not include HTML. HTML is just a language that is used to structure websites, the content on websites. We don't want it to be shown in our output because we're going to be copy pasting it. We don't need the HTML. So this is just to help you with the workflow later on. This is an example of the output that comes from this particular prompt. So you can see it starts with a title, and then each of these sections has its own header. And then each of these sections has a couple of paragraphs. ChatGPT will tend to create one paragraph sections, which look very AI generated. So what I've specified is that each and every section should have at least 2 to 3 paragraphs, and then it looks a lot more natural rather than an SEO optimized, automatically generated article. So at this point, the blog article is basically fine, but there's a few more steps we can go through in order to optimize and make sure that it's going to rank better on Google. I'm going to show you how you can use ChatGPT to SEO optimize a blog. SEO, again, is search engine optimization or getting to the top of Google. And we can use ChatGPT to first find the keywords within a blog article and then to optimize for those particular keywords. Whether you've used ChatGPT to generate the blog article or you've handwritten the blog article yourself and you want to use ChatGPT to optimize it for Google, you're in the right place. I'm going to be going through a prompt which will show you how to find the keywords, and then a workflow which will allow you to optimize for those keywords. I'm not going to be going into great detail about search engine optimization because it's a vast subject. If you're already doing SEO, this is probably going to be too basic for you. However, if you're just posting to a blog and not really thinking about what we need to do to make it attractive to Google, then this will be a useful video. It's going to be giving you a very quick and dirty method which will allow you to do some basic SEO optimization, which acts as a foundational layer moving forward. First up, we need to make sure we have our blog article inside ChatGPT. If you've used ChatGPT to generate the blog article, fantastic, it's already there. We're going to use a prompt underneath it. Otherwise, you're going to copy paste the whole blog article into ChatGPT and then use this prompt. And the prompt is extremely simple. All we're going to say is suggest SEO keywords. That's it. Here is an example output from a blog article that I loaded up. You can see that the suggested keywords are free digital tools, startup success, cost-effective businesses, entrepreneurial resources, no-cost platforms, and a whole bunch of other keywords. These are basically phrases that ChatGPT thinks that people will search on Google in order to find information like what we've written in our blog article. And what we need to do is connect these Google searches to our content, and we do this via something called a keyword or a key phrase. What ChatGPT doesn't have is access to live Google data telling us how many people are searching these keywords and what the kind of competition is on these keywords. If you have access to Google Ads platform, you can go ahead and use the keyword tool in order to find all this information, and you should go there because that is the source of truth for all of this. However, in the interest of keeping this nice and simple, I just want to give you a free tool that you can use. Doesn't require any login, doesn't require any email addresses, which will give you some basic keyword data. Once you have your list of keywords generated by ChatGPT, head on over to searchvolume.io. Searchvolume.io is a free tool that's going to give you the basic average monthly searches for each of these keywords. It looks a bit like this. This is going to tell you what the top keywords are. So now what I want you to do is gather up the top 3 to 5 keywords, and we're going to be using them in the next step. However, you need to make sure that these are relevant keywords. These are showing you the number of monthly searches, but you don't want to be including keywords that are not relevant to the topic of your actual article. So for example, I know that the article that I fed in, entrepreneurial resources, great, that's a good keyword. Free business software, great, I'm talking about free software, so that's perfect. Innovative business solutions, no, I'm not an IT consultant. This is a bit corporate sounding, so I'm going to cut this one. Strategic business planning, again, I'm going to cut that. That's far too corporate. Digital entrepreneurship, yes, I like that. Startups, great. And business on a budget, perfect. What we want to do is pull 2, 3, maybe up to 5 of these keywords, and we're going to be taking them into the next step. Just make sure that they are relevant and discard all the rest. So head back to the same chat window where you've done the previous work and asked for the SEO keywords, and then we're going to use this next prompt directly underneath. So we're going to put in optimize the blog article for, and then copy and paste the keywords that we've selected, blend the target keywords into the title, headers and body organically. So what this is going to do is go against ChatGPT's first impulse, which is to just plaster these keywords all over the place. Once you do that, it looks incredibly unnatural, and you can tell that it's been written for SEO. You can tell it's been written for Google rather than for human beings, and we want to avoid that at all possible costs. Second, do not highlight the keywords. ChatGPT has a very annoying habit of highlighting in bold all of the keywords that it has optimized for, which is great. It's showing, hey, look what I've done, look how good I am, which is helpful for us to see those keywords. But we want to be able to copy paste this blog article into our website, and we don't want those keywords to be highlighted. So all I'm saying is do not highlight the keywords. And then finally, provide the whole article. This is again to make sure ChatGPT gives us everything we need for an easy copy paste. Otherwise, sometimes ChatGPT will tend to truncate and just show us where it would do SEO optimization without actually doing the work for us. So I've just added a few sentences here to make this prompt easier for you to use. Here is an example of the output. This is just the first part because it's a great big long article, but you can see the title has been changed to entrepreneurial resources, which was one of our keywords, and free business software. Again, that was in our keywords, your startup success blueprint. And then the actual body content has also been adjusted. The headers have been adjusted, all to focus on these keywords, but in an organic and natural way. As with all AI generated content, you should always do your own double checks, and you should do manual edits in order to add your personality into the article. You want to use this as a jumping off point, consider this the first draft, and then rewrite it as if somebody had written it for you and now you are correcting it. This is always going to lead to a much higher quality output, and it's not going to read like AI generated content. One of the best tactics for SEO or search engine optimization is to produce high value, long form how-to guides for your website. These are the type of pages that people will come back to, they'll bookmark, and they'll find a valuable resource again and again, rather than one-shot blog articles where people will read, skim it, and then move on. To create these high-value long-form blog posts, we can rely on ChatGPT by inputting in valuable content we've created on our social platforms in order to remix and create something longer and of greater value. The ideal content for this kind of blog article are how-to guides. If you have any how-to based content that you've posted on X or on LinkedIn or indeed any other social media platform, this is prime material for repurposing into long-form authoritative guides for your blog. What I want you to do is collect up a number of how-to guides or a number of detailed posts around a particular subject area. And then we're going to be inputting a whole bunch of these different posts into ChatGPT in order to create something much larger. The more we give this prompt, the better the output will be. And I've set up the prompt so that it's not going to follow the structure or the order in which we upload this content, but instead remix everything and produce something new. The main reason we are inputting our own content is that it's going to produce something of value that's based on our ideas rather than generically pulled from the ether, like ChatGPT will do if we just give a basic prompt telling it to produce a long form guide. Instead, this is going to be remixed based on our insights, our knowledge, and our expertise. So this is a pretty long mega prompt, but it's going to do a lot of heavy work for you. So let's quickly run through it. We start with a role declaration. Act as an SEO blog writer. This is telling ChatGPT what we want it to do and how we want it to act. The instruction here is analyze and synthesize the content pieces I've provided into a coherent long form blog post. So that's a direct instruction of take everything I'm giving you, cut it up, and then build it up into something new, which is a long form blog article. Ignore the order I provide the content in. Ignore the structure of the content pieces themselves. Use the information from the content pieces to construct a brand new blog article. So this is a next step in the instructions where I'm saying, hey, don't just take what I've given you and feed it back to me. So if I gave you content piece A, B, C, don't just give me A, B, C all put together, but instead remix this in a more creative way. And then I've got a series of steps. These are guidelines, which are just generally useful guidelines for writing a blog article. Things about making sure it flows, things about using headlines, capturing the attention, having a hook, just to make sure that it produces a high quality blog article. Provide 2,000 plus words, no less, and then content pieces begin, colon, and then you're going to copy paste all of your content pieces, all of your long form guides from X or LinkedIn or wherever it is underneath this prompt. In this particular example I'm going to provide, I gave 3 long form tweets. There's one on finding your why, there's one on the importance of minimum viability products or MVPs, and one on how to evaluate business ideas. So they're all connected to the concept of starting a business and working out what the best kind of business for you to start is. They have a theme, but they are distinct pieces of content that ChatGPT is going to pull together into something larger. And then here's the prompt output. The title is The Ultimate Guide to Finding and Validating Your Business Idea. So already that's a good start. And you can see the contents here are 1, discovering your why. 2, the reality check, actions speak louder than words. 3, introducing the MVP, that's the minimum viability product, your fast track to validation. 4, generating and assessing business ideas with advanced prompts. 5, conclusion. So it's taken the 3 main ideas that I've given it and created something new from them by combining them in a logical, structured order and running through each of the ideas one at a time. The actual article itself is too large to include here because it's over 2,000 words, but you might find, and this is just a hiccup in ChatGPT, that it will only produce 500 or 600 words. If it does that, all you need to do is reprompt, and just reprompt, provide 2,000 words, no less. That's just going to remind ChatGPT and nudge them about the importance of that particular instruction, and it's going to regenerate from scratch, and it should be over 2,000 words. The reason we want it to be so long is that it's going to create an authority piece that people are more likely to bookmark and they're going to come back to because of the depth of the content. Once you've created your long form authority piece of content, make sure to SEO optimize it by finding the keywords and then asking ChatGPT to optimize based on those keywords. I'd also recommend creating images to go along with this post because 2,000 words is a lot of text for people to get through. So any visual images you can do will help to break up the text. You can add in ChatGPT, provide me image recommendations, and it's going to give you suggestions of what images should go where inside the article. And then you can use a tool like DALL-E 3, which is built into GPT-4, the premium version of ChatGPT, in order to generate images that are going to go into your blog article and make it a lot more attractive visually and more likely for people to actually read all the way through.